Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if we're talking about ancient Africa, we're talking about BC and 3000 BC and shit like that, before Common Era or whatever they want to call it now.
Yeah.
Like, it was black folks. It was black folks that was like the ancient Moors, like the Egyptian Moors.
Right.
The African Moors, I should say. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are black men.
We ain't get taught about them. I sure did.
Yeah, I had to learn that shit on my own.
It's crazy.
This shit is nuts. Like, you think about it. Like, just let's just narrow it down to high school. So in high school, ninth grade? What was ninth grade history? Was it global?
I think it was. I can't remember exactly, but yeah.
I remember 10th grade being Western civilizations.
I remember covering that.
Was it Western or Eastern? I remember we was talking about Europe and ancient Europe and Rome and shit like that. The Byzantine Empire and shit like that. The Ottoman Empire. I remember talking about
Romans.
that.
We heard about
everything. I talked about all that. I remember 11th grade was U.S. history, and I remember 12th grade for me was social studies seminar.
Yeah.
Not once, and usually it's just, I guess it's just Black History Month. That's the only time that we would talk about Black history. But even that time period was just usually just slavery.
Martin and Rosa.
Yeah, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, and slavery.
Do you remember Malcolm being covered?
Not at all. They ain't fuck with Malcolm at all.
Remember. Did they not?
Not at all.
Damn.
They'll mention him.
That's what I'm saying. Growing up, I remember looking at him thinking he was a bad guy. And finding myself agreeing with a lot of stuff he say now goes back to what he said about only a fool will let his oppressor educate his children. That
shit is crazy.
That's one of the deepest quotes I ever heard from him.
and now it makes sense why they don't teach about Malcolm X.
Yeah, if somebody do that Google search and start YouTube, man, they start waking up, right?
He was speaking too real. He was speaking
too real. Like, he ain't sugarcoat nothing in the speeches I've heard.
At all. That shit was great. Yo, I'm like, how the fuck was he getting away talking like this back then?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why they brand him as a militant. That's what I pretty much heard about him. He was a militant, and
But think about all of the black, Martin Luther or Malcolm X.
Yep.
Marcus Garvey. You ever learn about him in high school?
I don't think so. No.
No. At all.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? No. The people that we learned about typically was, like you said, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King.
Did we learn about Frederick Douglass?
Frederick Douglass, they'll touch on Frederick a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. But those are like the three black leaders that they'll just touch on.
They touched on Eli Whitney.
No.
They
ain't talking about no Elijah Muhammad. They ain't talking about no Marcus Garvey. They ain't talking about no Malcolm X.
Yeah.
They ain't talking about, they ain't not talking about none of these people.
Strategic, man.
Like, even in I didn't really learn about Booker T. Washington. I didn't really learn about fucking George Washington Carver.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain people that they just didn't take the time to go ahead and educate us on, which are pivotal people in history.
Do you blame them for that?
Yes.
Wait, you blame them? Think about it from their standpoint.
Blame who?
Blame the people who are educating us for not teaching us about those figures.
If you got the time and you can fit in your curriculum to teach me about the fucking Roman Empire and Ottoman Empire and shit like that for certain subjects, you can take the fucking time to teach me about certain black historical figures as well. That is very impactful in our history. That's how I take it.
No, I agree with that sentiment, but I'm just saying, like, from their standpoint, if you're making a curriculum for black students, why would I want them to know who they are? You want them to be lost.
I get what you're saying. I
don't know if they look at it that deep, but it's like
they might
just get them a little bit. Like,
they might look at it that deep.
They probably do.
It's probably all part of the system.
If you start now, kids can just YouTube Malcolm and everything. We didn't have it that easy. We'll have to go to a library. But
yeah, nowadays all the information is right on your phone.
There.
You can literally pull it right on your phone right now.
That's what I'm saying. So if I'm in their position, I'm not teaching y'all about Malcolm. What am I teaching y'all about?
That's a fair point. That's a very fair point. I didn't think about it like that.
I'm just saying, I'm not shooting them any bail, but it's strategic.
And it's just think about, like, I didn't learn about Mansa. I learned from Mansa Musa. I learned about him from
a song.
I learned about him from a fucking video game.
Really?
Playing Civilizations.
Really?
Yeah, Civilization, the video game. I seen some black dude. The Mali Empire, Mansa Musa. I'm like, who the fuck is Mansa Musa? Who the fuck is this dude? I read up on him on like the biopic they do on the game. Wow. And then I went ahead and just like did my own research on it. I'm like, yo, this dude was the richest person ever, black African king.
How does that happen?
This shit is crazy.
What's your theory?
Why they didn't teach about that?
Do you think they just like, oh, we didn't have time, we couldn't fit in our curriculum?
I think it goes back to what you just said. That's something that you gotta. It's part of the systematic racism, honestly.
Yeah,
you think about it. If you want to dive deep into it,
you gotta educate your own, man.
You do. So that's why, like, whenever, like, anytime I get around like young black kids and I'm able to just like talk to them. And I'm like, yo, what do you teach y'all in school? What's going on in school? What's going on?
They still saying the same
stuff? What's going on in social studies? What y'all teaching y'all? Okay, yeah. Have you ever learned about such and such? Have you ever learned about Mansa Musa? Have you ever learned about like Queen damn, I forgot to pronounce her name. Queen Hatshepsut or Pharaoh Hatshepsut. Damn, I forgot to pronounce her name. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Just certain, but no, I never taught you about that. Oh yeah, this person does this person does that. You know what I'm saying? Just to give them that background knowledge on it, because they obviously the school system ain't going to teach them that.
Man, we had the school system is trash. Let's just call it what it is, man. It's really bad. I ain't gonna lie, because you grow up and navigate through it and just be sleep if you think about it and have no knowledge of yourself, no positive imagery of yourself out there whatsoever. It's insane.
Yeah,
that's man. At some point, I'm sorry.
I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, how crazy would it have been to see like prominent black figures that I can relate to, that look like me, that have my skin color and shit like that was doing great things that I'm being educated on, how that would have empowered me to be a better student.
That's what Brock did to me.
See?
Yeah. You see?
Yeah.
So, man, imagine having that growing up from, kindergarten through, into high school, man. That's when it would kind of raise the bar of like what we can do. Like we are bigger than athletes and singers and entertainers.
Yeah, that's not just the only avenue.
Yeah, because growing up, think about it. What prominent black people do you know? Like you kind of, the typical people you looked up. So you had the Jordans and people, LeBrons. Like what in other areas? Who can you really name as a black figure? Like. We just don't have any.
I get what you're saying.
Outside of entertainment.
I mean, you mean like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King? Like Martin Luther King was one.
Now, those, I'm talking about like the average person.
But you talking about just like I can go
gotta be a leader out here.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Like with, in other communities, you may have like entrepreneurs, like stuff like that, where you got Bill Gates and we always name, people like that.
Warren Buffett.
Yeah. But you heard of Byron Allen? You see who he is? He owns a network. He's very successful out here.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people probably can name who he is. Or the guy, dang, his name escapes me right now. He gave money to, I think, Morehouse College or Howard.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah.
He paid off their tuition.
Black billionaire, yeah. Yeah, we don't
hear about that.
That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Why? Are we only focused on certain things? Like...
Well, you got to think though too. Well, this is how I think. The educational system isn't necessarily designed for black children.
It isn't.
You know what I mean? When they're going into it, I don't think they're going into the aspect of it. Okay, well, should we include this and this for these type of children? You know what I'm saying? So with that in mind, I think it definitely starts there.
Yeah.
And as parents, and I don't have no children, but let me ask you, because you're a father.
Yeah.
Is that something that you try to install in your children?
I don't feel we're there yet where we are ready to discuss race, to be honest.
No, I don't mean discussing race, but I mean showing them
positive imagery.
Positive imagery of like black people in certain power.
I don't intentionally do it. But it may be portrayed in the things that I watch. I'm not sure if they pay attention.
Yeah.
I don't put it this way. I haven't intentionally done it yet because it's unfortunate we're going to have that conversation. I know someday about, how the country is, but we're not there yet. I'm trying to let them, be as innocent as they can be until reality kind of hits type of thing. I don't know if that's right or wrong.
Let them enjoy being a kid.
That's what I'm saying. Because I miss those points and I try to look at them and be like, damn, I wish I could do that again where you're kind of oblivious to all the nonsense.
My God. Yo, if I can trade everything right now to go back to be a kid.
Yep. Man. That's what I'm saying. They ain't ready for that. Because, he's just funny enough. Things like Columbus Day, things like that. I'm like, I kind of want to touch on Columbus a little bit.
As a fucking racist buffoon.
But,
that shit is crazy.
They ain't ready to go to school with that energy.
We legit still got Columbus Day.
Yeah. Indigenous Peoples Day.
Right, exactly. That's what it should be.
Dang,
that's what it should be, man.
Dang.
Yeah, I remember when I first really learned about. Because I remember being in
he's
first
a good
grade.
Guy in history.
Yes, he discovered America.
That's it.
This is why we got everything we got going on there now, because of that one man.
You got to praise him.
The motherfucker never have even been to America.
Whew.
Think about that shit. The dude went up and down fucking South America, just raping and killing and stealing, and you know what I mean. Yeah. That shit is crazy, and we celebrate that shit.
We celebrate a lot of people like that. But then people can try to make the argument then basically saying we'd be canceling almost everybody like in American history if you look at it that way. Like the founding, people, presidents, whatever.
The quote unquote founding fathers.
Yeah, fathers, that's the word. What do you think about that? Like, should we like get them off of the money, the currency, like just because of the things they done in the past? Like such as have slaves, or you give them
they don't get no pass. No, because slavery is one of the greatest evils of all time. Mm-hmm. But this isn't our America.
Okay, yeah, we have no control.
Yeah, this isn't our America. Yeah. Like what it ultimately should be. Fucking, they should add just different figures on the money itself. Like they talk about putting Harriet Tubman on there.
I'm good on that, to be honest. You know?
Yeah. Like at this point, it's like, okay,
yeah. What are we doing with
is that like a consolation prize?
It is.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, that's not really doing nothing for me.
Yeah, I'm good. Certain things we be fighting for, man, I'm good on. Like, we need to just focus on ourselves and build ourselves up, build our communities. Speaking of communities, we was talking about gentrification the other day, man. What's
yo, they doing it in Niagara Falls.
Yeah,
they trying it. Them lofts that they built down the street, or down the street around the corner, them shits is going for like $1,000 a pop.
1,000. Who can really afford that?
What the fuck? I seen that shit. I'm like, wait, who the fuck are they leasing these out to? It is downtown Niagara Falls, like right across the street from the casino and shit. They going for $1,000 for studio apartments.
1,000 studio.
For like a 2-bedroom joint, that joint going for like $1,400.
That's how rent is around me, man.
That shit is nuts.
Utilities included,
I think gas and electricity is included. Man. No, water and gas maybe. You got to pay for electricity.
Probably something like that.
I think it's something like that.
But who are they trying to attract?
Not
people from the community.
Yeah, definitely not people from the community. I'll tell you that much,
man.
But yeah, this is starting slowly now.
What's your feelings overall on gentrification, though?
Is
it a necessary evil? Do you need it?
No, it's not needed. But what I do wish is that people from those communities actually buy those communities and build in those communities.
Yeah, because
that's what's going to maintain those communities. Because now we're in a situation where, like, the Seneca Nation, they pretty much just buying up all that shit.
Yep.
Like downtown Niagara Falls. And then what they're not buying up now, they're, building these lofts and shit like that.
Yeah. I can't believe that was a corner store. That's crazy. The one I saw,
Yeah.
Wow.
It used to be a corner store.
We didn't own that either. That's the funny part about it.
Right. and we just, in black communities, we were talking about black communities, like everybody just comes into the black community and just establishes these different businesses and buildings and shit like that, where the money isn't being generated in that community.
Think about what we did as kids. What stores we went to. None of them had black faces
at all.
Ben's Fashion. I just saw his closing.
That was an Eastern Asian owned store.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like our corner stores is typically like Middle Eastern Americans coming over and opening up those businesses in our communities. I
never saw
a black owned corner store.
That's sad.
I I'm not. Somebody please correct me on this if I'm wrong. The one on Memorial right now, across the street from where Nerlens used to be, I think it's called like Market City or City. I forgot what it's called. I think that one may not be a black-owned store, but I kind of still doubt it.
Yeah,
because that's the one that Poppy got killed.
Yeah.
And I think maybe his family still owns it.
Yeah,